Okay, well, there was a little internet connection problem there. So, this could get up close and personal. This could get to ugly crying. So I'm not sure that this will make it to a podcast or not, but that is why I am recording it this way. So let me just double check here. What I'm going to talk about is a story of recovery that is very up close and personal to me, and it is a vulnerability share. And it is my recovery from chronic yo-yo dieting and body shaming. And when I'm going to tell you where it started, is going to be a very big shocker to you. And I've hesitated to share this. Some people know parts of it. You know, I let little bits and pieces of it out every now and again. But I have hesitated to share this because, for personal reasons, and sometimes there's someone walking around my house that I don't really care for them to hear parts of it. And for fear of what people will think. Because in my line of work, there's this image that you're supposed to live up to, and it's a big fat lie. Because when I was living up to that image, I was at my worst. I hated myself the most. When I was thinner, leaner, counting calories, restricting, I hated myself. It didn't matter what changed, because nothing changed for me. And last week, I think I posted pictures of all my befores without one after. Because every time I started a challenge, there was the weighing, there was the measuring, there was the pictures, and yes, I used to make my clients do this, and I'm going to tell you what. I know that throughout my life, starting at the age of 14, that I had body image issues. My first diet, which was Slim Fast, was when I was 14. My biggest fear when I was younger was, oh my gosh, what if I get a puffy stomach? And I did. And it probably was nothing, right? It wasn't anything that anybody would see or notice, but I noticed it. So picture from 14 to, I'm 45 now, so to roughly 42, 43, I was living on the same vicious roller coaster. So that's a lot of recovery that needs to go on. And if I share this and it can help just one person to understand what they're doing to themselves, then I've done my job. Because everything that I have learned that has changed that and helped my recovery, and yes, I'm going to call it a recovery, because you get to a point where you are so busy chasing the next diet around that you're not even trying the one you're on for long enough to figure out if it's working or not. And you're done. And that's a lot of things to erase, a lot of things to unlearn that I learned basically from society, that I learned from a company that I was working with and a gym I was working with. And it wasn't working for me. And I can tell you that is when the most of my problems started. That is when I started to question, what the hell was I doing to my health, to myself, to my mental status? I fit the outside part that you are to fit as a personal trainer or a fitness instructor, but I sucked at life. I did. There was nothing that I could do that I liked myself better. The thoughts and the emotions and the conversations that I had with myself in my head were damaging. And if that is something that you maybe have done or know someone who does, then maybe this will help them. So let me dive into this and because I think the vulnerability is out there and I'm not hesitating anymore. Because part of what I do and why I've changed things comes from a lot of my story. It doesn't come from an eat less, move more bullshit mentality. It doesn't come from the crap of the freaking containers and the weighing and the measuring. That's part of my story. That was a struggle for me. Maybe it's not a struggle for you, but that's when it started to be the worst for me. That is when I started to be miserable. That is when I started to wreck my hormones, my thyroid, my gut health, my digestion, because I was filling it with crappity crap shit that they were promoting. And if you don't check your ingredients, I ain't even going to go into that on this live, but just make sure you know what you're putting in your body. Like, here's a hint, and I learned this in like 5th grade science from, oh my gosh, 4th grade science from, I can't remember what her name was. Remember, she had curly hair, it was kind of blonde, she was short. Your first 3 ingredients on the back, where it says other ingredients, that's the shit that's in your food. So let me just put this one out there because I see a lot of people. Please don't do this. Don't give your kid Pediasure. Don't. Look at the first ingredient. It is freaking, what is it, sucralose? I feel like it's something along the lines of os, that's sugar. So your first 3 ingredients are what is most in your product. In the other ingredients, not where it says vitamins, carbs, because that's what we count. That's what I was counting. But all this shit was messing me up inside and here. All for an external look. So how did it get to where I am today? All those struggles. And if I knew then, I say this with a lot of things today, if I knew then what I know now, oh man, would I have saved myself some time, some energy, a lot of freaking money, and a lot of heartache. And my relationship with food and my body probably wouldn't have been ruined. And I see so much of what I went through in a lot of people, and they don't see it yet. They don't. And I'm not going to call you out or anything like that, because maybe someone saw me, and I wish they would have pulled me aside and said, hey, there's another way. There's another way you can promote it too. You don't have to do it this way. This is why I left this certain company, because a certain someone that used to do some of the stuff in that program did a podcast, and I was like, oh my God, this is exactly where I'm at with this. I can't do this anymore. I can't use these words. I just can't. And that was a struggle for me, because it was like, oh, you don't have enough willpower. You just need to work harder. You need to track your calories better. You need to do all these things. Yet I was doing all that shit. And I still hated everything that I could possibly hate about myself. You know I have 2 daughters, right? Yeah. Sad. It's sad, they're picking it up when they say something to you. Right? It's sad. And I didn't want that to repeat for them. So not only with me being like, something has got to give, this is happening over and over and over again, and I realized how much of my life I had freaking wasted on it. I started to hate exercising. I started to hate food. It became the enemy, and if I ate too much of it, I had to work out more, and if I missed too many days, I was guilty, and what in the world? That is not what I was put on this planet to do. And it took me a while, majority of my life, to get that. And those were a lot of my struggles, my challenges, and my biggest fears were going against popular opinion. What would happen if the fitness instructor, personal trainer, turned health and nutrition coach didn't go with what society said? It was scary. And then I got to a point where I said, I don't give a shit. I want to stop people from wasting their money. I want to stop people from wasting their life. I want to stop people from just being on this emotional roller coaster and realize that, guess what? It has nothing to do with food. It has nothing to do with counting your calories. And it has nothing to do with working out. Oh, wait, well, how am I going to lose weight? Is it healthy to always want to lose weight? No. Why do you always want to lose weight? What are you doing to yourself to lose the weight? And is that healthy? Ask yourself those questions. For me, it wasn't. It was not. I wanted a smaller size. I wanted a smaller waist. I wanted to be able to fit into these jeans. I wanted to look like this one in the magazine. I wanted to lean out. Why? To be healthy. That's not healthy. This is not healthy. That's such bullshit. I was so worried about what people will think, and I still do think that sometimes, but I've gotten to a point where I'm like, I don't even care. I will pick a fight with you being on Weight Watchers. I will pick a fight with you eating Nutrisystem. I will pick a fight with, what is it, Optavia? How much are we spending on this stuff? Are you going to do that until you're dead? Absolutely insane. It is such a waste. What are you learning from it? Here's what I didn't learn from any of that bullshit that I did. Even when I was in this company, right, promoting these things. I never learned how to love my body. It was never good enough. I never learned what the root cause was as to why I always felt like that was the only way I could control things, was to lose weight. I never learned how to promote it healthy to other people. I never learned how to love and accept who I was, because it was always another diet. And I'm sorry, that's an addiction. It really is. And is it really healthy to say, I'm back on my strict diet again, so, vacation is just around the corner. So is that healthy? No, you're only doing it for vacation, then you come back and what happens? Right? There's binging that goes on. There's restriction that goes on. There's so many emotions that go on. And I found that the more I restricted, the more I binged, because I craved stuff that even if I hadn't eaten it in my entire life, I craved it. You're telling me I can't have it. Now I want it. So that was something that I was like, okay, this is why I binge. Is it an emotional thing? Yeah, because I got pissed at myself. I have a bad day and I came home and ate something and then I was guilty. Why feel guilty? Have the emotion. There's so many emotions that go on in our lives and we cover it with food and then we feel guilty. And I know that I say, how about what if you just let yourself have that emotion? Oh, God, I would gain weight. I had to trust myself. I had to learn to trust myself, and no diet ever taught me that. I had to learn to trust my body to tell me, to let me know when I was full, instead of me cutting myself off at 8 o'clock because I had fit, the boxes, or I had colored in the whatever they are, or I had, oh gosh, I'm done with my fat grams for the day. Now what the hell do I do? Oh, I guess I'll drink water because I'm not hungry, I'm bored. I had to learn how to stop fighting my body. No diet ever taught me that. And just a light bulb just went on in my head, and I was like, there is another way. And there has been, look, if you know anyone who's gone through like recovery of drug and alcohol addiction, it is sometimes a one step forward, two step back thing, because we're fighting these demons, as I want to call them, but these thoughts, these limiting beliefs of maybe we're never going to be thin. Maybe we're always supposed to be fat because someone told us we were supposed to be fat. Those are root issues. We need to get to the bottom of those and get through those feelings, because it has nothing to do with food, and a diet is not going to fix it. Something a diet never taught me. There are days where I still think I ought to just go on a diet. If you listen to my podcast from the other day, I talked about when I tried on 700 million pairs of shorts, and in the past I would have gotten really pissed at myself and thought I was a fat ass and I needed to go on a diet and I'm eating too much, and I laughed. It's part of my recovery. I know some people are like, oh, she's so full of it. She titled this recovery, and I was thinking I was going to get some dirty grit on her that she, was an addict or she was an alcoholic or whatever. And this is an addiction. If you have done this for more of your life and you continue to do it and you think it's healthy, it is a fucking addiction. Sorry. Truth bombs, F-bombs. I think that's going to be my new freaking motto. I drop the truth bombs and the F-bombs. If you learn anything, please learn from my mistakes. Because if someone would have slapped me around a little bit when I started on this, when I started with screwing up my health because all I wanted was a smaller body, I would not have gone down that road. But maybe that I was supposed to go down that road. Maybe I was supposed to go down that road so I could find a way and help other people find another way, because it was like I had this anti-diet awakening, and I was like, this shit has a 95% failure rate, yet we continue to do it. Hey, I drive a Ford. People call them flip over and repair daily because they've had so many problems with them and they don't buy them. I won't buy a Dodge because I had problems with a Dodge. My Fords work fantastic. Now watch, mine will break tomorrow. But that car failed me, the Dodge, just only a few times, and I won't buy that brand anymore. Why do we continue going on a diet when it has a 95% failure rate? The diets that I'm seeing right now, I can't even, if a doctor prescribes it, it must be safe, right? If a doctor prescribes me under 1,200 calories a day and tells me, don't work out right now because this, that, and the other, you are so setting yourself up for metabolism fuck up. And I don't care if a doctor prescribed that to you. They don't know shit about it. I'm sorry, they don't. And I will pick a fight because I feel like unless they have had more training in education in nutrition and what actually goes on, they know the BMI charts and they know your body fat percentage. And according to them, everybody's overweight and fat. All that stuff is crap. Okay, I will say body fat percentage, yes, if it's on the higher end, it can really be detrimental to your health, so we need to work on that, yes. But man, they tell you these things and they're like, go home. They don't explain things to you. They don't, here, you're almost diabetic, oh, go home and watch your sugar intake. What does that mean? What does that mean, watch my sugar intake? Teach me. Show me. Help me understand me and why I got here. And what I can do to change it. Oh, I just, this is, the biggest thing that helped me was probably just opening my eyes and saying, oh my God, how much longer can I do this for? And with that, I said, you know what? I need to help other people who are stuck here. And I know a lot of people will come to me and they will expect me to put them on a diet, and I don't do that. And then they get mad. And I'm like, wait, you came to me because your diets aren't working, but you want me to put you on a diet? And I don't, honest to God, if you are one of my clients, you know I don't really talk to you that way. But if you want me to, I can get that way with you. I want you to figure it out. So I'm not going to tell you everything to do. Nobody told me everything to do. I had to figure out what worked for me. And I'm noticing, pardon me for itching my eye here, I'm noticing such a change in my clients when they can get to that mindset of, I need to unlearn everything I have learned. And it will take time. It is not a pop the pill, wrap your ass, 30, 60, 90 day, measure the shit out type thing. Only cheat day once a week thing. That's easy. That's so easy. So easy that we do it over and over and over again how many times throughout our lives. Easy, right? That's easy. Gotta do a little bit of work on yourself. And that's where I start with my clients. That's where I started with me. I had to realize that, you know what, at that time, it was more about some things that were going on in my life that I felt I had no control over, and the only way to control it was to go on a diet because I could control that. Sometimes other areas in your life have suffered now or have suffered from the past, and it leads us to like, hey, because society teaches us this is going to make us happier. We're going to look like Marie Osmond if we do, what does she do, Nutrisystem or whatever. And real quick, let me just, there are a couple people that I have interviewed in the past week or so, and, we were talking about, like, what do you think of the Diet Society? What do you think of the products that are out there? Do they actually solve the problem? Sure, if it's an easy button and all you want to do is lose weight. But can you stay on that forever? How does that food taste? Is there someone that you can go to when you have questions for accountability or when you're struggling? How educated is that person? Have they been where you're at? This is kind of the questions I would want to know. Like, I don't want... It amazes me because I'm going to tell you what, if Britney Spears came out with a fucking workout program tomorrow, you all would buy it. You would all want to know what she was doing because right now she's in the spotlight for Lord knows what I don't know. I'm not going to quote on that. I'm not going to say Britney's bad or I don't know. Like, if she needs help, I hope she gets the help. So I'm not bad-mouthing her, but I'm just saying that we buy into anything a celebrity is doing. Anything. And they're making money off of it. They don't care if you succeed or not. They're not there to answer your questions. They don't have these heart-to-heart conversations with you. They don't teach you much. They have people. They have people. Okay? Meaning, someone's cooking their food. They don't have to do it. They don't have to worry about it. They have these expensive trainers that are pushing them sometimes way past their capabilities, limits, and what they should even physically be doing for a freaking look. You know, we advertise a waist wrapper and, oh gosh, we're going to skinny ourselves just like that. Smash your organs. These products are not teaching you. I asked someone, I said, what do you think of blah, 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 blah? And she said, they're bullshit. They don't work. Yet we've all bought into them. Recovery of any kind is unlearning what you've learned. It has taken time for me to unlearn everything I learned, to understand that what I was promoting doesn't work for everybody, and it's not the be-all, end-all, to understand what I needed and get my shit together, and then in turn around and help other people who are in that same boat. And sharing it is a little scary because sometimes people want that before and after person. They want that after picture. I will not promote myself with a before and after picture. I will not promote my business with half-naked women. That's not the clientele that I want. And I don't know what goes on in the before and after pictures or the after. Neither do you. But you just want that picture at the end. So that is not how I will put it out there. That is, I will come right out and say, look, if you want a diet, don't work with me. Don't. I'll help you figure out what you're supposed to eat and, you know, keep track. But I'm not going to tell you how many calories and fat and, like, when did we stop enjoying food to be skinny? When did skinny become the be-all, end-all, do-all, have to lose the weight, hate myself, shame my body, smaller is better? Because society praises that. Oh, you look great. Have you lost weight? I hate that. And I know I have to stop myself sometimes because I almost do say that to some people. And so what was wrong with them before they lost weight? What was wrong with them? Nothing, right? But they get the compliments and they feel good and it's accomplishments and all this stuff. Look, I wear a size 5 pants. Great. How's your emotional status? How do you feel about food? Were you able to go out to dinner with your family this week, or did you stay home because it wasn't a cheat day? Welcome to the world of a diet struggle. You may not see it, but right there I just explained it. You need to recover from that. Because when you're 85, you're not going to be saying, oh, I wish I would have tracked my calories better, and I wish I wouldn't have had that cake at the wedding. You're not going to say that stuff. So you have to think to yourself what really matters. And when people come to me and they say, I want to lose weight because I want to be healthy. Okay, tell me what that means. Tell me what health means to you. For me, I realized that health was not a smaller body. That health was that what I thought was healthy, you know, all the things I was doing that I thought were healthy were just a diet stigmata of you have to do this to be thinner. And I wasn't getting healthier. I wasn't. I messed up a lot of things internally in my body as far as functioning and systems and all those things, right, that go on. So here's a little bit of advice that I can give you if you're watching this and you're like, well, she just bored me to death and she's so full of crap and whatever. But if you shook your head once to anything I said about the dieting, because I know majority of us have spent half of our life doing this, chasing the diet. And it leads to eating disorders also. And disordered eating. Are they two different things? Yeah, kind of. But one can turn into the other. We need to be mindful, of course, of what we're eating. Because, you know, I'm not saying, like, just eat Kit Kats and Oreos all day. Oh, God, that would be great. But, I mean, like, how bad would your stomach hurt from all the sugar and chocolate? Mine would. You know, like, I'm like, that's too much chocolate for me. But you have to be mindful of, like, how am I fueling my body? What am I putting in there? In my mind? In my body? And yes, spiritually. I'm going to say that because sometimes the little meditation and all those kind of things that we do helps us get centered and understand, like, this is me. I'm going to appreciate and accept my body for what it is. And I'm going to work out because it makes me stronger and it makes me feel good about myself, not to move the scale. And I'm going to eat And I'm going to be mindful of what I eat, but I'm also going to enjoy what I eat. And I'm going to be okay if some days are Oreos and wine and other days are chicken, rice, and broccoli. You got to find the balance. You really do. And when you get to that point, you will look back and say, holy cow, I can't believe I used to do that stuff before, because I look at it. And sometimes I just want to go up to people and I just want to hug them and I want to say, there is another way. Please let me help you. And before you let me help you, go follow me on Facebook. Go follow me on my website. Get to know me better. Understand what I preach and what I promote and how I work with my clients. Because I have had some that come and they expect a diet and they expect a meal plan. And what happens when that's not there? Will you have me giving you a meal plan from now until you die? Oh, but I'll learn how to... No, you won't. No, you won't. All the meal plans in the world will not teach you a thing. You have to understand why you're eating, what you're eating, and you also have to be able to have those choices. Don't tell me what I'm supposed to eat. Teach me about it. Don't tell me what I'm not supposed to eat. Teach me about it. Because if you tell me what I'm not supposed to eat, I'm going to want it. And then when you tell me what I have to have, even if I love it, I'm not going to want it. How do I know this? Been there, done that, right? It's untraining our mind. It's unlearning everything that we have learned in the past and getting to understand what goes on inside here, because it is not a one-size-fits-all. And what worked for you last year may not work for you today. Stop chasing that. Stop aggravating yourself and wondering, why doesn't it work now? And it worked last time. Because you're different. Your body has changed. Maybe you're older. Clearly you're older because we don't age backwards, right? Clearly you're older. Maybe you've messed up your hormones or your digestion or, your thyroid. Yep, that got a little messed up in me when I was doing these things. Maybe you've messed some things up. And they need to heal. We need to heal emotionally. Sometimes we have to heal on the inside, on the innards. And then we have to heal from what society has beat into our heads. So I know that I have probably talked way more than I should have. No, actually I talked probably just long enough. Because the more people that I can get my story shared with, and the more people that can understand that it is a recovery process, the less money the Diet Society is going to make, because they make money off their repeat customers. They do. They just rebrand, they remarket, they change some things to be new and improved, and it's really the same old bullshit. It is. Actually, someone said that to me the other day. That's a quote from what they said, from something they used 1,000,000 times over, and only noticed results like the first time they did it, not the 15th and 17th and 87th time. So, stop doing what everybody else is doing. Don't be afraid to fit out. You don't always have to fit in. Be different. Do what works for you. And take care of yourself in the right way. Because smaller does not always equal healthy. That is all I have for you. Have a great day. And if you can't share this in here. Okay, so if this is a podcast and you're listening to it and you found value in it, because it's recorded in my free private group Healthy Living. So if you want to get in there, get over there, find it on Facebook. But if you are listening to it as a podcast and you found value in it, feel free to share it. Because the more people that this can get through to, the less time and money we will be wasting on things that don't work. 95% failure rate. You get to choose. I don't know. I did it a couple times even though I knew the shit didn't work. I just tried to find a different one. Find a different one. Doesn't always work that way. So that is it. That's all I have. I will stop talking your ear off. Have a great day, and I will catch you next time.